Are you excited? Excited. Hey guys, so I am super excited. A, it's Friday night. Not that that makes much of a difference nowadays. But B, hey Nam, I am doing a one night stand tonight, hopefully when she joins, with the one and only Gabby Bernstein. There she is. Can you see me?
Yes.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. I'm in my guest bedroom because I'm not allowed to do any social media in my bedroom. So I'm
You're
not in
not,
my
I mean,
real
and
bedroom.
that's actually a smart rule. I'm making him stop getting off the internet because when he gets online, it slows everything down. But I think that's a very smart rule. How are you
I am
doing?
not allowed to show my room, my bedroom. Um, I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing okay. I'm very routinized right now because I am full-time mom, full-time boss, full-time content provider to the people that are ready for it, and full-time private chef to my husband and my son.
How are you dealing? How are you dealing juggling all of
I
those
mean,
hats?
I'm just being grateful because, being I'm in, anyone that's at home and has food and has support and family around them is blessed. I'm just trying to practice a lot of gratitude, and I'm actually really finding the silver lining in being so deeply entrenched in my son's world and just like he's 16 months, so it's like such a major leap in development, and so I'm just like truly enjoying
It's
the
amazing. It's funny. Like I was thinking the same thing earlier today. Like I'm brainwashing myself during this time to kind of to make myself believe that I absolutely love it, but I'm actually falling in love with it. The
Mhm.
time that we're having, because I would have never had all of this opportunity to see my kids grow up the way I'm
No, you're
watching them
such a
grow
busy
up.
woman, you're so on
I mean,
demand, like people.
you're calling the kettle like yourself. And so it's crazy being able to just see how much they grow from day to day, whereas you wouldn't have noticed in the normal world. Um, so absolutely,
You wouldn't have noticed
absolutely,
it
at all, at all, at all,
because
at
you'd be
all.
moving, and you'd have your weekends with your children. This is if kids are in school or if you have childcare or whatever it was, they're just not around you as much as they are at this moment. It's an opportunity.
Yeah. Okay. So, I don't know. So I know who you are. A bajillion people in the world know who you are. But for the 0.01% who doesn't know who you are,
There's plenty of people who
um,
don't know who I am.
no. But who is Gabby Bernstein, and why am I so excited that you're actually doing this with me tonight? Like, where are you
Um, first of
from? Who are
all,
you?
first of all, I'll just say that I'm a big fan of the show. So happy to be
Oh,
on.
thank you for joining.
I am Gabby. I am a Oh, let me put my little handle in here as you. I didn't follow any of your team's rules because I just don't read directions at all. And so
I never knew how to pin a name anyway. So
I think you
I end
can,
up like screenshotting this and then saving it to my Insta Live, my stories.
can I?
Oh, there you are. Hold on.
Anyway, so my name is Gabby. I am a motivational speaker and a spiritual self-help book author. And um, I usually do work from home. So this isn't totally unfamiliar for me unless I'm doing quite the opposite of this, which is traveling around the world to give talks. And so, similar to you, where your art, you really are an artist. Your art is to support people with their appearance and their health and their well-being and their gorgeousness. You're being stifled, right? You can't do your art right now. And for me, the art that has been shut off is being able to be in front of live audiences and do that work. But that doesn't mean that I haven't allowed for a tremendous amount of creative force to come through me at this time. And I just finished my eighth book and I'm submitting it tomorrow.
8 books? How did I not
Yeah.
know you wrote 8 books? I have this one. I was gonna show everyone that you saw it, you gave it to me, and I love it. But I didn't know
Hmm.
you wrote 8 books already. Oh my
Yeah, I've written
gosh.
8 books in 9 years.
Wait, wait, wait. Let's take a step back. Hold on, hold on, hold on, hold on. How do you go from being like a normal quote unquote human being to becoming a, like a spiritual, like, have you always been very spiritual? Like, how did you find spiritual? Like, how did you find spirituality? Did it find you? Have you always been very spiritual? Like, how did you
Yeah.
end up in this path?
Yeah. So just to make a long story short, I was brought up visiting ashrams, and I was taught to meditate when I was a teenager. And my mom was real hippie and very, very spiritually inclined. And so there was that belief system ingrained in me as a child. Then I went out the other direction, just started, looking for my happiness outside of myself. When I was 21, when I graduated college, I started a PR business that represented nightclubs. And I was really fast and out there and trying to just prove myself, and ultimately became a drug addict and an alcoholic, and got sober at 25, got myself clean at 25. And in my sobriety, I started to
What
reconnect.
led you to become sober? Like, how did you decide to get
It
yourself
was
out
either
of that?
like, it was pretty much going to be like either like death or sobriety. Like, but no, but truthfully, I did get myself clean. So there was always, even when I was using, there was always like a stack of self-help books next to my bed where I would just read all these books and just journal night after night. And I just knew that there was more, and I knew that I was denying it. So it wasn't like I didn't, the lights are flickering as I say that, which is so cool. Um, that means something to me. So I
Someone's watching. I don't know, but I believe in that stuff.
that is the stuff. Um, so I said a prayer on October 2nd of 2005. I said, I need a miracle. And then I heard my intuition say, get clean and you will live a life beyond your wildest dreams. And I was like,
I have
well, I'm not going to
goosebumps.
deny that. Yeah, I was
I
not
have
going to deny
goosebumps.
that. And then
Oh my
I
God.
got sober that day, so I'll be 15 years sober, coming
Oh
up
my
on
God.
15 years.
Congratulations. I have tea in honor of you. There's
You know,
no
I
red
left my
wine
tea
tonight.
in my actual bedroom, and I was like, why did I leave tea in another room?
I have tea
And
in honor of you, though.
yeah, we're not boozing on this call. Um, and yeah, so that became the catalyst for my own personal spiritual reawakening and the mission that I've been on for 15 years in this field as a teacher and a guide to help people crack open to a spiritual connection of their own understanding and
Hmm.
whatever, and decide what that means to them.
I mean, it's so interesting. And obviously, I'm a dermatologist. So, and I deal with a lot of outer beauty stuff.
Mhm.
I'm just curious because I do find you to be one of the most beautiful people I know. Not just, but it's true because you do. I mean, anybody, I'm not saying this because I'm interviewing her, but like when you meet Gabby in real life, she has this like light that comes out of her, even when she's not having the best day. And I've
Wait, we
seen
have to
bad
tell the
days.
story. We have to
I've
tell that.
seen bad days with Gabby, and I was like, do I need to check her in at one point?
You
But she
did.
was still very beautiful despite that bad day. And I'll tell the story in a second, but do you feel like when you hit rock bottom, it affected the way you looked? Like, do you feel like your outer beauty was affected by when you hit rock bottom?
Yeah, I mean, I happen to agree with you. I think that the most beautiful thing about someone is their confidence. And when you are at such a low point in your life, it doesn't matter what your appearance is. Maybe I was at the time like looking pretty good, but I was actually not looking good at all. I was a cocaine addict, so I was like severely underweight. But I was 25. I thought I was hot. But that was not, I knew that my inner light was off,
Mm-hmm.
and that inner light being so shut down was just not attractive in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
But the day that I was crazy in your office, um, I was I was having postpartum depression, and you were
I'm not
pregnant.
laughing at that. I'm laughing at my reaction to what happened.
The
You can
whole
tell the
thing was
story.
but it was so weird. So I came into Shreen's office and I was so uncomfortable. I was just like, having such a, like, I was telling her the story of my postpartum and the insomnia I was having. And this was before I think I was this is before I was medicated. I had actually had to get on medication. That's how bad it was. This is before I was medicated because I think you would have been like, let me write you a script right now.
I would
And
have
I
been
look,
like, ASAP, let's take care of this.
I was like trying to calm down and I look over and I see her belly and I go, baby. And she thought that
Because I was pregnant. I was pregnant, but I was standing to the right of Gabby. And then Gabby all of a sudden, my stomach was protruding. And all of a sudden Gabby says in like a baby voice, baby, hi baby. And I look at my nurse because I was like, oh my God, she's having a psychotic delusion. She's seeing a baby in the room. And so my nurse, Jasmine, a medical
I
assistant,
could have
Jasmine
been.
looks at me and basically we both get like stone white and silent because we thought she was hallucinating. And she was like, what's wrong? And I was like, do you see a baby? And she was like, your baby in your stomach. And then I just start laughing uncontrollably because I was so scared and nervous for you.
And then I walked out
Um,
there and I was so embarrassed and I was like, oh my God, I'm such a head case. But listen, mental illness is
But
no
that's when
joke.
I knew, hold on, but that's when I knew that there was hope for you because you were able to laugh so hard at that situation. Whereas, and I've seen depression and I know depression, when you're really like in it, you can't even laugh at something like that. So when I knew I was able
Mm-mm.
to make you laugh, I felt, it was almost like, because I was so worried about you, at least I felt, I felt more at peace that you were going to be okay.
That was a really
Because
embarrassing moment.
that was crazy. That was like, I really thought I had to go check you in. I was like, uh-oh, I
No,
gotta
I,
cancel my
I, I
day and take her.
genuinely thought that it was over. I'm putting filters on my face right now. Let's see.
Go ahead,
Um,
knock yourself out. Wait, so quickly, we're gonna do very superficial stuff initially, but then I really want to go into what Gabby does most, which is all the spiritual stuff. But people obviously want to know skincare routines and everything like that. So, what is your skincare routine like now in quarantine? Has it
okay.
changed at all, or?
Well, when I was in Australia before, I just came back home from Australia right before this all kind of got so bad. And when I was in Australia, I um was DMing you like I had like every dermatologist I know on speed DM, like DMing you, and I was DMing Paul, and I was and I was on vacation with Dr. Buga. I was like freaking
It was
out
like a vacation of germs.
because I had this humongous talk. I was going to be on like a jumbotron. My face was going to be literally like the size of a movie screen or bigger, pretty much. And I was breaking out with insane rosacea that I never knew I had. I really actually want to ask you more about this, but might have been a postpartum reaction. I think that's something I've heard is like, it could be dormant and then maybe after the baby it comes out. I don't know. I'm not the doctor, but it was so bad. Like it was like bumps everywhere, so inflamed because of the heat in Australia.
Mhm. And I'm sure also
And
the
my
water.
and my hair was falling out because I was having this like whole hormonal thing happening. Anyway, so I was like so hardcore texting you, DMing you like all night long, and you were very helpful. Thank you. And it's always good to have a doctor on DM. And and so then my skincare routine was very, very different before the rosacea because I've had to since change my entire skincare routine. And you were the one who guided my skincare routine um with C. Furlick and
Mhm.
but I also used a lot of Biologique and I was using some Retin-A, not obviously when I was pregnant, but I was using some I started using Retin-A actually. And
Yeah.
that was like really helping with, fine lines and just like clarity in my pores and things like that. But after the rosacea, I was like, damn it, I can't do any of that anymore because it would just irritate my skin. And so I'm using this product. God, what is it called? I'm gonna have to Google it or look it up, or I don't want to step away. It's an organic product for that's like really, really supposedly super good for rosacea. I got it on Amazon.
Uh,
And it's pretty much like honey and rose and a lot of like anti-inflammatory
mhm.
herbs and things. I gotta get you this. I wish I can go into my bathroom later at the end of this
Send me
call
a
and
picture
get it.
later, and then I could like tag it once I record the screen and
Tag it.
save this. Yeah,
It
yeah.
is the biggest game changer. Like when I was in Australia, I had to for 2 days, 3 days take put on steroid on my
Lantra.
skin. Yeah, because there was no way in hell I was going to get, and I got some laser when I was out there. I got that hot face laser, like whatever
Hmm.
that thing, that heat lamp thing, which I wanted to ask you if that's something that we should, that someone with rosacea might want to own, one of those. I don't know if it's something that you can own, but damn, it was so bad. So I took the miracle overnight for 3 days. The no, what is it called? Steroid.
The steroid, or was it
Yeah,
Sulantra? Because I do know like you're worried about having like Demodex on your skin, which is a type of like mite, like a little skin mite that can
that's
exist.
what Bobby thought it was a mite. Yeah,
Yeah. So you didn't use
but
that Sulantra, no?
I think I just used a steroid cream for 3 days just to make it disappear. That's not a long-term solution. No
No,
one
it's
should do that. No
no one
one should
should.
do that.
No.
No, I only did it because I was going to be on the Jumbotron. Like I
Okay.
was like, I'm going
I
to
mean,
be
I
on.
get it. So, like, guys, if you have rosacea and you have like a wedding the next day and your rosacea is
Oh, yeah,
flaring,
like just
yeah,
one
we'll give you a
day.
little, yeah, as like a band-aid,
That
but
was what the
not
doctor
long
the
term.
doctor was like, do not eat because it'll make it worse
Yeah.
because you'll suppress it, and then you'll flare out. So 3 days of that, and then I stopped completely. And I would only use it if I was like going to be on the jumbotron.
Uh-huh.
So is that even what it's called, like a jumbotron? I
I
mean,
don't know, but I know what you're
lit
talking about.
literally my face was like the size of like three movie screens, and so I couldn't really. I'm too vain to do that. And so then I started this whole routine now where I do um, a very, very bizarre routine that I've had to do because of the rosacea. But it starts with, I wash my face with a very gentle face wash.
Uh-huh.
Anything I can still use the Biologique a little bit. I use something that this dermatologist in Australia gave me, and anything that's gentle.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And then I do like rose petal witch hazel, which is not too strong for me. And you can tell me if it's a bad idea.
It's
But I
not, I mean,
blend.
witch hazel is not a bad idea. It's a little bit some people can get allergic reactions a little to witch hazel. Rose water is actually something that's used quite a lot, especially
It
in
might be
Lebanon.
rose water because
Yeah.
it's rose. It's rose,
Yeah.
but it's
It
witch
has
hazel.
anti-inflammatory, a lot of
Yeah,
anti-inflammatory.
yeah. So it's rose something. Okay. And then I use this like magic cream from Amazon for the rosacea, and I just mainly put that here and here. But then my
Are you
neck
sure
and
it's a
everything.
real cream? Like you're sure it's not like counterfeit?
Well, it had like 3,000 positive reviews or something like that. Can I just show you what it is? Can everybody just chill for a second? If I leave you, will I lose you?
You'll
Maybe.
lose me. Do it after. Do
Okay.
it after. It's okay. You'll show me after and then I'll tag it on the at the
Yeah,
raw.
it really helps. Pretty much it's like I don't know. It's like honey and it's good.
So what I'll do
And
is
then
I'll do a whole rosacea talk once we hang up, maybe tomorrow or Sunday, and I'll incorporate what you use right now to kind of if people are curious.
okay, great. And then and I tried a whole bunch of things. And then I also will use the C for like on my forehead, my neck, my like here, because that doesn't get activated. Like the
Hmm.
rosacea shows up here and here. And
Uh-huh.
then I used an under eye cream that you prescribed to me. Not a prescribed, it was something I bought from your office a long time
Uh-huh.
ago, and I keep using it. And then I still use the Biologique cream. I used to do like so much, and now it's a lot less. I spray
Yeah.
on rose water,
Sometimes you know what,
like a
like
Tata
pe-
Harper rose water.
I tell you this, like less is more, especially with people who have very, very sensitive skin.
Hmm.
Um, and especially people with rosacea. So I don't think what you're doing is unheard of, and I do think it's actually good to take a step back. Um,
Hmm.
but quick question, like which one of those do you think is like your die hard, I can't live without skincare product?
Now it's the rosacea thing. This like Amazon cream.
Oh my God. Okay, you have to tell me what it is. I need to look into this for you.
I swear by it now.
Okay.
I will not like if I wake up and I'm like my skin because the thing is I like to take saunas and that's not obviously ideal for rosacea. So when I'm in the sauna, I will like put like ice on my face and things like that. But
Hmm.
I might have a little bit of a breakout and then I'll go down in the morning and at night and take and put this stuff on and it makes it go away.
Okay, I'm very excited to see what that's about. Someone says it's called the magic cream.
Maybe that's what it is.
Okay, I'll look it up for you guys. Okay, and then obviously you're all about your inner beauty and your inner strength. How do you think, how can people, because outer beauty is one thing, but I've met a lot of models, for instance, who are gorgeous, drop dead. But when you meet them in real life, there's like a little bit, not just models, I mean, normal people too. There's something lacking. And that light, like I was describing about you, isn't there. So how would you like help people find their glow from within, like their inner beauty? I know it's like a difficult question. I don't know if you ever try to
Okay.
help people with that,
We
but
need
like
a
how do you?
fabulous filter for this response. Let's find one. By the way, this has been my dream. I've like, forget like having been like on Oprah, like that's nothing compared to this.
So one night stand has
Um,
been your dream?
you're my dream.
Oh my God. Oprah
Okay.
oh my God. I'm gonna have to get Oprah next.
Okay. So this is a really great filter for this. So I believe that there's nothing sexier than our authentic truth. And I think what is most attractive about myself is, and I can say that with a tremendous amount of confidence because I'm very proud of who I am, is my authentic confidence. And when I say I'm proud of who I am, I can say that I want everybody to be able to say that. Like that's a big part of my mission is to help people know their confidence and know their worthiness. And that authentic, genuine, true, just wholehearted presence of who you really are is what's so sexy about people. It's why you've gained such a beautiful audience here because you're just being you.
You're so
Like you're
sweet.
just like I've met you. I know you're my friend. Like you're hysterical. Like and you're just you and you're passionate about your work and so that's what's most attractive about people.
Is
And
when they're just themselves. But how, I mean, I feel like so many people struggle, like trying to find, who they are, try and understand, like I think people are very confused in general, and I see this in my practice a lot, because they come in complaining about, let's say, a line here, and then when I start speaking to them to really understand why they're coming in, so much more comes out. And I realize that they're struggling a lot with who they are as a person, not knowing what their self-worth is. Um, and how do you open up people's eyes to learning about their self-worth? That's a very hard question, but
no, and that
how do
there's
you,
no, I don't have any hard questions. You can really ask me anything.
but how do you teach somebody to know their worth?
Well, it's to first recognize the reasons why you don't. We all have very deep rooted belief systems that are based on experiences from our childhood that have led us to believe something specific about ourselves.
Mm,
And those childhood experiences become a driving force in our life. And to truly, truly unlearn those belief systems, we have to have the willingness to go deeper. And I'm just going to leave it at willingness tonight because when you have the willingness to go deeper, you will then be led to a video like this or a book like any, personal growth book or spiritual book or a therapist or a healer or exactly the guidance that you need to go deeper on your own personal growth journey because true worthiness comes through healing any of the beliefs that have ever made you feel unworthy.
do you feel like if somebody, let's like, because what I've noticed as well is like I often find they come in for one thing, and I don't think they come in thinking they're going to talk to me about their life. I really don't
I know
think they
you're
just
like
come
a
in.
therapist. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like all of a sudden we start talking about X, Y, and Z and not about skincare. Um, but do you think you can open up someone's willingness to go deeper? Like, do you think you can really, you know, try to open someone's heart if they're not necessarily consciously willing?
If they're not willing, no, no,
No,
they have
you
to be
can't.
willing.
You can't change anyone.
No, you can't change anyone, but if someone's willing, then you can offer suggestions. You can hand them a book. You
Hmm.
can forward them a video. But
Hmm.
the willingness is what's required.
So interesting. And then obviously now I feel like we're living in such a weird time. We're living like in the craziest time I think of like anyone has ever lived.
Hmm.
Um, and
Except
I
for
feel
maybe some Holocaust survivors that are out there.
yeah,
Hmm.
absolutely.
Hmm.
But I feel like this is more like regardless of just, religion or race or gender, like this is kind of across the board affecting every religious group, every race, every gender, you know what I mean? Um, and I think we're in a time where we're stuck between the confines of four walls. And I think a lot of people are experiencing a loss of sense of self because they identified themselves with what they were doing on a day to day, whether it's going out, going to work, seeing their, so they're losing a sense of self, and there's a lot of increased self doubt.
Yeah.
And a lot of increased unwanted negativity, even though they're trying to put up a front of being positive.
Mm-hmm.
Um, how would you tell people to manage and cope with that, like during this particular time?
Mm-hmm. Well, I think that we have to reframe our experience whenever we are, if we're faced with a challenge, there's two ways to move through it. We can move through it with love, or we can move through it with fear. Now, I'm not going to say that we shouldn't be fearful and that we shouldn't be conscious of what's happening, but it's how are we going to show up for each day? Are we going to show up for each day with the perspective of looking at the silver lining? Like, you and I said earlier that what a gift it is to be with our children more than we ever would have ever possibly. My son and I have bonded so deeply that we would never have had that ever. You know, Even just stupid things like when this happened, I just dug into my business and I found way too much money that we were wasting, right? Just wasted money. So now caring more about the bottom line and caring more about the, not wasting and just being smart about every dollar. I think that's a good thing, right? Um, Being able to perceive each day as with gratitude, no matter what is going on around us. Now, particularly those of us that are watching this right now. So, anyone that's watching, I would say the majority of the people who are watching right now have a phone, they have internet, they have a
Mm-hmm.
bed that they're sleeping in tonight, they have food on the table, they have God willing, they don't have the virus, and that they're, watching right now with a lot to be grateful for.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think that the the energy that we bring is our most important contribution at this time, because what's happening is there's a collective energetic experience of terror, trauma, chaos, and fear, and that's
Mm-hmm.
creating a lot of problems, as you can imagine, right? It creates, it could create issues I don't even want to name.
I know.
So we need to do our part, those of us who have the consciousness to wake up right now. We have to do our part to bring our highest vibration to the table. And that will come through reading empowering books, through listening to audios that support us. I'll give everybody, I did an hour-long a free anxiety relief workshop.
Mm-hmm.
I'll put the link in here right now. And just, if there's anything you do at this time, do this, because give yourself permission to take care of yourself right now.
It's crazy. I was actually talking to a friend yesterday, and he was like, I just feel like I'm not doing enough with myself. I feel like there is, a lot of not pressure, but because no one's actually putting the pressure so much on him as he is on himself,
Mhm.
um, to do more.
Oh yeah, so many people have come to me with that problem right now.
And I'm just
So
like, yeah, what do you, I told him, take this time in your life because you know it's fleeting to really just dig into yourself and find out what it is that you're passionate about without having the pressure of trying to produce. But I
that
don't think that was
pressure,
helpful.
that pressure is a need to be in control. It's a fear, it's a reaction from fear. It's also that many, many people have never worked from home before. So it's
Hmm.
really uncomfortable for them to be self-motivating or self-starter or to create their day. When my husband left a job at private equity at JP Morgan to become the CEO of our company.
Hmm.
And it took him a year and a half to settle into what it meant to be working from home from having been in an office for a decade, right?
Wow.
So that in itself is you're gonna be there in the middle of the day, like, okay, I guess I can go get a coffee right now, but shouldn't I be at my desk? So it's really conflicting for people. Um, I think a lot of people think that they should be doing something with this time, or they should be like the most important thing you could be doing with this time is just focusing on your personal growth and focusing on your personal well-being. And, I would say, doing reading spiritual books or doing anything to make sure that you come out of this without PTSD.
100%. 100%. I think you just hit the nail on the head because that's what
Saying, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but she says,
no worries.
I have the virus, but I'm doing fine. I'm an ICU nurse, and I feel so guilty that I'm not out there helping. Susan Flynn Park, God bless you for your commitment. Get better, get well. Focus on your health and well-being right now.
I don't think she's alone in her sentiment, is my point. Of
Mm-hmm.
feeling like, even though she's sick and she needs to get better, feeling this guilt that she's not doing more to help.
People in the medical profession are human angels. It's like that level of devotion to others is unimaginable. I'm deeply devoted to people, but I don't think I could have been a doctor. I don't, it's a special person that makes that, a nurse, a doctor, a healthcare provider. It's a special person that makes that commitment. So I just want to send a lot of love to you guys.
No, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Susan, I hope you get better. Let's get back quickly to your whole like spiritual alignment. Can you quickly describe what exactly is spiritual alignment? Because I do think people, if they're at home and they have the time to work on this on themselves right now, it's a great thing. So can you quickly describe what it is and how can people try to achieve at least part of it throughout this time?
Listen, when I teach people, like I said earlier, to create a spiritual connection of their own understanding. So if the word spiritual is triggering for anybody, in alignment to your inspiration or your personal faith of your own. So for me, this experience of my husband and I working from home and having our kid and having, we trained our child to sleep. So we have the opportunity now to do really good routine because he's in a routine already. Okay. So I'm getting up at 5 a.m., 5:45 a.m. to make sure that I have some really beautiful private time. Okay. And I go into a different bathroom and take a bath, and I still not waking up my husband. And I listen to the mantra music and I light some candles and I just really care for myself and get grounded in the morning. And I do some like stretching because like I am very tense at night. And then I'm telling you my routine so that I can explain to you what that means to me to have that spiritual foundation every day. I say prayers when I'm in that bathtub and I pray for all the essential workers and I pray for the doctors and I pray for the people that I know that have COVID and I pray for my family and I pray for my loved ones and for people that I don't know. And if anybody wants me to add people to their prayers, they can DM me because I've just got a list going. Okay, then I, get some work done. Then I give my kid a bottle, wake him up, give him a bottle. And then I go and do some work. The in-between stuff doesn't matter. Let me get to the spiritual part. So 1:30 every day, I do a 40-minute meditation because my son is sleeping. And so I do
when you
20
do a
minutes
meditation, are you just like sitting on your, like, I'm going to ask a very, very ignorant question on purpose. Is it like you're sitting there just kind of legs crossed meditating, or could you be laying down, or could you be like just walking outside? Like when you say do a 40-minute meditation, does that mean like you're sitting still or are you like moving around?
Shireen, I have the most amazing thing for you. It's coming in like 3 weeks. Okay.
Why? Because I'm ADD and I need help.
No, I'm writing it right now. I'm creating it at the moment. I was just writing it right before I got on with you. It's literally going to blow your mind. Um, I'm going to do a 21-day meditation challenge.
Okay.
To guide people who have meditated or not meditated through like daily step by step,
Count me in. I don't know how to meditate.
sleep meditations, walking meditations, mantra meditations, like breath work, but it's for anybody. It's like literally you can just press play and follow me. And it's going to rock your world.
I can't.
So,
no, you have to tell me when you send me a DM or message me or call me or
on May
whatever.
1st, I'm going to start promoting it. So I'll share it with everybody. Yeah, it's going to blow your mind.
We're starting to meditate.
Yeah, do it with your man.
He needs it. I need
love
it.
his cameos. He's so cute. Oh my God, it's so cute.
Um,
So anyway, so then I do this big meditation in the middle of the day, and then I do another meditation after I put my kid to bed. Those anchors of like those personal growth practices and spiritual connection have given me, I've always had that, right? I've always had a foundational spiritual practice. But right now, with this like really devoted routine, the specific times each day, and the like deepening of that practice, super, I feel super, super peaceful no matter, even though this is all happening around me. And I feel really connected
that's very
and
powerful.
intuitive. hmm
Can I ask
Because
you
every,
a personal question?
yes,
All these people come to you, right? And you give a lot of advice about when they're like obviously going through crap in their life or whatever it is. Who do you turn to? I mean,
well, I
other
have
than yourself.
I have a, I have a posse. Okay,
You have a whole
so
posse?
I really do. I
Uh-huh.
have, I have a therapist who I speak to weekly. I have a EMDR therapist who does movement desensitization and reprocessing, which is trauma therapy. It's like really it's impactful therapy. I speak with Tammy every other week. I do hypnosis. I'm starting to do hypnosis just for
Okay.
myself, but also so I can teach it. I am I do energy work every other week because what I believe is like when you put yourself out there, and this is for you too, and there'll be a meditation for you in the challenge. It's for this specifically, but when you put yourself out there publicly, like whether you realize it or not, you're creating these cord attachments with people, and so like they kind of hook into you as if you were like, they're just like kind of vampire into you, whether you realize it
They
or
suck
not.
out your energy in a way.
hmm
I
And
know.
for me, it feels like just little bungee cord hooks. And so I work with an energy healer who just, clears me every other week. Um, and listen, it's an investment, and it's the most important investment I can make in my life because I've, the reason I can say like that I said earlier, and it might have sounded conceited, but it's actually the most sexy, most powerful thing to say that like I truly, truly am proud of myself. The thing I'm most proud of is this just deep, deep devotion I've created to being a healthy, whole human, so that I can feel free and feel grateful and feel awesome, and so that I can walk my talk and help other people do the same.
But I think that's what I find admirable in you is that yes, you are a leader in this field, but you're also very willing and open and honest to say that you too get help. And I feel like a lot of people have this misconception when they find somebody in like a leadership role that they are the all-knowing. And then I think that person then starts to like, you know what I mean, embody that sort of image of themselves. And it kind of becomes a little narcissistic,
hmm
where they end up, you know what I mean, not being able to admit if they have a problem, who do they turn to and how do they help themselves?
Totally. Like if someone's like, I don't need help, then you do not want to learn from that person. No. And here's the deal. Like my new book I'm submitting tomorrow. Here I'm going to announce the title on Pillow Talk.
Breaking
Oh
news!
my God, here we go.
What is it called?
Breaking news. It's called You Are the Guru. And
Ooh.
it's yeah, it's all about how, I've said people always say, "Oh, you're my guru." I'm like, hell no, do not fucking say that shit. Because, all I want from people is to identify and recognize that guru within them.
Wait, but
And
this
I
leads
tell
me to
people,
something
I didn't
else.
change your life, you changed your life.
This is sorry to interrupt. I'm like just thinking as you're talking because this does lead to something which is actually very personal. You saying that
Hmm.
you are the guru. I still struggle. And I think for the longest time, and you used to tell me even before I started Instagram, I think you told me like, why don't you start going more on Instagram and social media and talking? And I'd be like, I just can't. And I really have, I
Oh, I
struggle with,
told you to do it. Yeah.
I know, I know. And I struggle with imposter syndrome. Like, I think that's like kind of a little of a contradiction. You teaching people that you are the guru, and what if someone has like imposter syndrome? How do you
Ooh,
help
maybe
that
I'll have to
person?
add that. It's so crazy to me because you're so confident and I don't understand this.
It's
Okay. So,
I'm confident like in the moment, and then I don't want to see myself. Does that make sense?
first of all, totally. I mean, people are like that all the time. Um, I think that you nailed it, like immigrant family, feeling like, your accent or whatever your story is. these are, these are old belief systems that you've established. And by the way, you're freezing in funny ways.
I
As I
am.
tell you. Yeah. And I love this filter that I have on, by the way. I think everybody should use this filter. Um, so where was I? Yeah, these are old stories. That's it. Period. Plain and simple. Writing my ninth book is going to be for you, specifically on how to heal those stories. You're going to have to wait a little while. No, but I mean, any one of my books right now could support you in unlearning those belief systems and reclaiming a new one. Particularly, The Universe Has Your Back, May Cause Miracles could be good for that. All my books are really about undoing fear. So,
Hmm.
lady, I
What's your
got you.
biggest fear?
My biggest fear?
Yeah.
I think that my biggest fears have sort of been about like more body identification fears about like sickness or, not, stomach issues that I had for so long. I don't live with those fears nearly as much as I used to. Um, but that's where I really projected a lot was onto my body, like not feeling safe in my body.
Like health
But I've been
fears? What
working
were
on
they?
that a lot. Health fears, yeah, there were a lot
Because
of
you're
health
not in
fears. So
control over your body, and so you're like, oh my God. Kind of anxiety inducing in that sense, or?
yeah, and I'm a trauma survivor. I have childhood trauma that I've been working through, and that makes you feel very unbody. And I've been doing a ton of work on it, and so
Hmm.
I'm feeling safer and safer all the time.
Hmm. No, it's so
Hmm.
interesting. And then I think one last thing that I'm just curious about, like, obviously, again, we're in a time where we just have a lot of, I mean, I've been using this time to kind of self-reflect about what it is I want in life and how I want to like move forward after all of this. How do you help people? Like, what do you think is a good advice in like manifesting your dream? Everyone says, "Oh, manifest it." But if I manifest that I want to become a singer, I don't have the voice to become a singer. I bought a microphone. But how do you manifest your dream? Like, how do you help people manifest what it is that they want to achieve for themselves?
Well, the secret to manifesting is to forget what you think you need and really get grounded in feeling good, right? So I wrote this book, Super Attractor, that you mentioned, and the subject is methods for manifesting a life beyond your wildest dreams. But
Yeah.
the actual book is really all about feeling good. Because a lot of people think, when I get that achievement or that thing or that love, whatever it is, then I'll be happy. But the real message is that when you're happy, what you desire comes to you.
I agree 100%.
So it's really about making feeling good your highest priority.
I mean, I used to work in another place where I was
Hmm.
miserable, and I just felt like
Hmm.
everything I ever wanted was constantly being blocked. And when I was released kind of from that situation, it was like all of these opportunities, I was just so much lighter in my soul and my energy that like all of a sudden all of these other opportunities just like opened. Or maybe I opened my eyes to them because I couldn't see them when I was so like chained up.
Someone's saying, can I repeat that sentence? Could you hear it? I think what I said was, and I agree with you, Shireen, what you just said. But I think what I said was, we think that when we get that thing, we'll be happy. But the truth is that when we're happy, what we desire will come to us naturally. And so we have to make feeling good our highest priority. In Super Attractor, there's a whole chapter called "It's Good to Feel Good." A lot of people right now are complaining that, are saying, not complaining, but uncomfortable. They're feeling bad about feeling good. Fuck that. You feeling good is probably one of the most important things that you could do right now, because you feeling good is going to raise your vibration. It will support your partner. It'll support your people you work with, the children that are around you. You'll support your healing journey if you are suffering. Feeling good has to be
Mm-hmm.
your highest priority.
Yeah, it's a very twisted thing that you have to apologize when you're happy, or you have to apologize if
Hmm.
things are going well in your life, and you're just constantly like nervous about that.
Yeah, no,
Um,
it's just a programmed belief. It's not what we should be doing.
no, I completely. Gabby, words of wisdom. I love it. Okay.
Lady, we should like just hang out with filters more because I really like hanging out with you.
I'll make sure to have like a 3D filter light when you enter the office next time.
Oh my
Um,
God.
what was I gonna tell you? Okay, so let's do like rapid stupidity stuff.
And I
What
have
if
like
you had,
what derm questions for you too. So
yeah,
you go first. Okay.
okay, if you have to go to a deserted island, forget about taking your family with you. What are three things you would take?
Um, Unlimited Siete chickpea wraps.
Okay.
Um, Water. See, I'm like very concerned about my health and well-being.
Yeah.
Um, and like, do you know that I wanted to say, oh, probably like sunscreen, right? Like, I don't want to burn. Well,
Okay, that's a good
no,
one.
I
You
don't
could
think I don't.
throw me a bone. Huh?
I mean, I've been trained well, but I don't think that's actually one of the things I would bring.
I don't know if
Um,
I don't even think I would take that. If I were on a deserted island, I'd have like a foot masseuse because why the hell not? Someone just massaging my feet all day. Nutella because I wouldn't really care about what I'm eating because I'm just alone. And I don't know, maybe a Gabby Bernstein book because I'd have a lot of time to like
hmm.
figure out how to work on myself.
I bring a computer because probably write like a few more books while I was there.
I'm just amazed at how you can write that many books. What's the favorite place you've ever visited in the world?
I really liked being in Stockholm in Sweden.
I've never been.
Oh, it's beautiful. And I also really love Australia. That's where I recently was. I really loved the
Why?
vibe.
What did you love about them?
I just really like nice people. Like I love Canada. Like it's not because like Canada is like the sexiest place to go, like Toronto or Vancouver or whatever. I just really like Canadians.
Uh-huh.
I really like nice people.
You know where you need to
Australians.
go? You need to go to Bhutan.
Oh yeah, Bhutan is supposed to be a good trip. Might be a while before I go to Bhutan.
You need to go to Bhutan.
But
And what are you
oh no,
watching
where'd
on
you
TV?
go? Can you
Can you see me?
Yeah, no, I can't go.
What are you watching on TV right now?
Ozarks.
Crazy.
I'm early on. Don't say anything.
What season? Oh, beginning of the season. You haven't.
Oh no, no, I'm in the new season, but the beginning of the new season. So
Oh,
don't say a
so
word.
good. I'm jealous. I'm
Mhm.
like jealous of you, and I'm jealous of anyone who's never watched Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad, oh my God. But I wouldn't want to watch that right now. It's too disturbing. I was
I
having
know,
like
but it was
nightmares.
just so crazy well written.
It was
Like,
incredible. And I read and I but no, not now.
no, it's a little dark. It's a little dark. It's a little dark, but it's
Mhm.
very well written. Um, and then let's see how we can just kind of like we're almost because the problem with live is after you go for an hour, and I can't believe we've been speaking for an hour, it will just cut off. So I don't want it to cut off before I say goodbye.
Okay,
Um,
cut me off. Cut me off.
no, we have like two more things or three more things I want to do with you before we hang up in like 8 minutes.
And
What
also,
would you?
can you like record that? Like you can record it
I'm
off
gonna
the
try to
phone.
save it. I've always tried to
You
save
can't
them.
save it if I'm on it, unfortunately, because they don't let you.
What I'll
Um,
do is I'll screen record it. I'll like play it
yeah,
back
that's
and
what I
just
was gonna
screen
say.
record
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
what I've
Because
been
I want to
doing.
share it. I really like
Yeah.
this conversation. I want to share this conversation.
Thank you. I will screen record it and post it to my IGTV. But
Okay, cool.
what's your biggest advice for young women, or like what would you tell and men or anyone who identifies as either sex, whatever, any human being, what would you tell your younger self, as advice? Like what's your most treasured piece of advice to your younger self?
Be yourself. Be you. That your authentic truth is the sexiest thing you could bring forth.
And even if you don't know who yourself is, like even if you're like kind of like I still don't know who I am, like how do you be yourself when you're confused?
Be when you're comfortable, you are who you are.
So first try to find
So
that place of comfort.
be your comfortable self. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true. And I think that's actually true also in relationships, FYI. I remember when I
Oh
met my
yeah.
husband, when I met my husband, it was weird. Like we both knew this guy, we both knew we loved, like we both knew we were it for each other. And it's so funny because that moment when I realized it, I told him I feel like I'm home. Like
That
not to
was so
sound
fun.
cliche. Huh?
I love it. You said
But I
home,
just felt
yeah.
home. Like I didn't care if like
Hmm.
he farted. Like it or like if I fart, like it wouldn't have been like embarrassing. It was just like I felt so comfortable and at home at that point in time,
Hmm.
you know? So I
Love
love that
it.
advice. And what's the next thing do you think for you? Like what's your next thing, your next step, your next move, your next everything other than the book, obviously?
Well, personally, I want to have another baby. I know
Yay.
it's a crazy time, but I'm going to be 41 in November, so I really need to work on that at the moment. Or not
Hmm.
work on it, but allow it and just let it come, let it work out, in whatever way it's going to come. And then I probably will have like a project coming up in the fall, I think, that will be big to carry this message in a bigger way.
Exciting.
And I'm
Like
going to write
big
another
like
book.
big like a tour seeing people or big like via like technology
No
big.
technology big.
Exciting. I can't wait for you to tell us more about that. That's very exciting. Um, and then can we have like 4 minutes left. Can you end this with us like on a guided meditation? Can we do like a guided Amr, you want to do a guided meditation? Amr, he needs to
Next
learn how to
time.
meditate. I know. Put this down. Hold on.
Oh my God,
Amr,
he
he's
hates me.
lying. Let's do a guided meditation. He covered his face.
By the
He's
way,
gonna
your
do it with
hair
us.
looks so. I wanted to also, you can DM me later, but like, what's the best thing for hair?
What do you mean?
With like a just
I'm
like
on a
thick,
hair journey. I'm
beautiful
like
hair.
using Rogaine. I'm taking Nutrafol because it's
I'm
falling like
taking
crazy.
Nutrafol. I'm taking Nutrafol too.
Apparently, so the company DM'd me because I was saying they're such big pills. Apparently, you
Mm.
can open them and just like mix them in yogurt because each time they're so big that like
I don't have a problem with pills. Yeah, I'm okay with them. But
I
let's do
can't. They're like
meditation before
okay,
we
okay.
back
So
out.
I need to
Okay.
sit up. Hold on, I'm sitting up.
I'm gonna
Amr,
stay relaxed. You can lie down. You can lie down. You can go
I
lie down and
can. Oh,
relax.
I felt like I have to like
Yeah.
go into like a meditation pose.
No, lie down and relax.
Hold on,
Everybody
we're
lie
throwing his
down,
phone.
relax.
You see his
Lie
phone? I
down.
threw it.
Yes, lie down. Close your eyes. Close your eyes. Put
Close
your
your eyes.
left hand on your heart and your right hand on your stomach.
I'm holding the phone.
Close your eyes. You just take a deep breath in. On the inhale, extend your diaphragm. And on the exhale, let it relax. Inhale out and extend your diaphragm. And exhale, allow your stomach to relax. Another deep breath in and let it expand and let it relax. Continuing that cycle of breath, breathing in and extending your stomach and releasing and letting it just relax. And just listen to me affirming how we all want to feel right now as you inhale and exhale slowly. I'm safe. I am supported. I am loved. I am safe. I am supported. I am loved. Everything is working out on my behalf, even if I don't know how or when. I am safe. I am supported. And I am loved. Taking another deep breath in and extending your diaphragm, and on the exhale, relax. Breathing into that diaphragm and let it go. Take one more last deep breath in and release it. And you can open your eyes. Oh my God, he did it. How do you feel?
Relaxing. Thank
That
you. I
was
do feel relaxed.
amazing. I
Oh,
love you.
yay!
That was very good. You have a very soothing
You
voice.
have the best voice,
That's a real
Gabby.
talent. I wish I could do that.
You guys have to
You
do, you
can't,
guys have to
but you
do,
have such a good voice.
I do feel more
do the
I do
meditation
too.
challenge with him.
I'm gonna FaceTime
You
you
feel
every
good, right?
night.
Well, you can. I'm going to have a 21-day meditation challenge starting in May. I want you guys
Uh-huh.
to do it together. Do it
I'm
together.
in. I'm in. I'm in. Please don't hit me anymore.
All right, listen, we have a minute left. It just told me. I
Oh no, release.
adore you. This was so much fun. I love you. I
Oh,
love you. I love
I
you.
love you.
And
I love you.
thank you guys. You heard it here first. Her book is coming out very soon, and it's called one last time.
You are the guru. But that's
And
going to
we're
be a
gonna write
little
an extra
while.
chapter. We're gonna write an extra chapter though about imposter syndrome in there. Um, but I love you and thank you for coming on. And I will definitely be saving this and posting it, and hopefully you'll be able to reshare it.
I love you
Good
guys.
night.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
Shireen. Good night.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, honey.
I love her. I hope you guys enjoyed. There's 15 seconds left. I feel like it's a countdown. And yeah, I'm so, so grateful that she was here. I hope you guys all meditated with us. And I will be posting this to my IGTV. Thank you for joining One Night Stand with Gabby Bernstein and me.